explain the working of ruby laser with neat sketch. The ruby laser was first developed by T. Mayman in 1960. It consists of a single crystal of ruby rod of length 10 cm and 0.8 cm in diameter. A ruby is a crystal of aluminium oxide Al2O3 in which some of the aluminium ions Al3+ are replaced by the chromium ions Cr3+. The opposite ends of the ruby rod are flat and parallel. One end is fully silvered and the other is partially silvered. The ruby rod is surrounded by a helical xenon flash tube which provides the pumping light to raise the chromium ions to upper energy level. In xenon flash tube, each flash lasts several milliseconds, and in each flash a few thousand joules of energy is consumed. The simplified energy level diagram of chromium ions in a ruby laser indicating appropriate excitation and decay is shown here. In normal state, most of the chromium ions are in the ground state E1. When the ruby rod is irradiated by a flash of light, the 5500 Armstrong radiation, that is, green color photons, are absorbed by the chromium ions which are pumped to the excited state E3. The excited ion gives up part of its energy to the crystal lattice and decay without giving any radiation to the metastable state E2. Since the state E2 has a much longer lifetime, 10 to the power -3 seconds, the number of ions in this state goes on increasing. Thus, population inversion is achieved between the states E2 and E1 when the excited ion from the metastable state E2 drops down spontaneously on the ground state E1. It emits a photon of wavelength 6943 Armstrong. This photon travels through the ruby rod and is reflected back and forth by the silver ends until it stimulates the other excited ion and causes it to emit a fresh photon in phase with stimulating photon. Thus, the reflections will amount to the additional stimulated emission, the so-called amplification by stimulate de-emission. This stimulated emission in the laser transition is finally a pulse of red light of wave which is of length 6943 Armstrong. It emerges through the partially silvered end of the crystal.
Please subscribe our channel for more videos and educational contents.